Good morning. It is the 8th day of December. It's a lovely temperate day. It's about 60 degrees or so. It's going to be in the low 70s today and mild, which is such a delightful treat. Today we're going to discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The very first thing we need to know about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Some of us enjoy growing things. Those are strawberries. This is oregano. More oregano. Some lantana finishing out. It's almost winter. So if you like farming or raising things, get yourself a plot of ground, or simply, gee willikers, you can actually like greens in a pot. How much I enjoyed growing things when I was a little kid in New Jersey. My parents, being Italian American, first generation born in the United States, grew tomatoes as part of the genetics. We also had a climbing rose bush, barberry bushes, which had horrible stickers on them, and we had some trees, and the trees would drop some little teeny weeny seeds, and the seeds started to sprout up, and we had seedlings. And I really enjoyed watching the seedlings grow. So what I did was I started to thin out the seedlings and made myself a little miniature forest that got to be about 4 feet high. And then it was time to clear the forest because it was blocking some other shrubs, not to mention getting in the way of the pool, which we had built in our backyard. So number one, in terms of the pursuit of happiness, is know yourself. Know what brings you joy, know what sucks the life out of you. If you have a head that gets cold, it's okay to wear a hat and a jacket. And men can wear pink shirts, whether they're sneaking up on 75 or not, if you're lucky enough to have style and panache. So know yourself. One of the ways you can learn about the next step is to discover, develop, and deploy your talent or talents. How can you recognize what your talents are? Most of the time, it's simple as, what do people constantly ask you to do? In my case, I've been counting money and keeping track of money and helping people grow money since I was a little kid. Not sure why or how, I just had a tremendous interest in not being poor when I grew up. My parents were hardworking people. They worked like hell, and they fought about money. They did teach us the most valuable skill, and that was to spend less money than you make. If you can learn to spend less money than you make, and just have positive cash flow, you too cannot be old, sick, and broke if you invest for growth and income long term. And don't touch it until much later. So number one, know yourself. Number two, recognize your talent. And when you're recognizing your talent, it's a good idea to then develop it. If you enjoy speaking in public, learn how not to talk like that. Just because you're from New Jersey doesn't mean you need to talk like that. What you can do instead is you can simply, clearly learn to pronounce your vowels and consonants, words and syllables. So you might even overemphasize speaking properly. Now I know a guy who loves to go to Dallas Cowboys football games, and he has bought $1 season tickets, and they go and take clients, potential clients, to the Dallas Cowboys game. They get to run around on the field, get to meet various celebrities, because heck, they are celebrities themselves because they spend that much money. And their hope is to raise some capital for their particular, I'll call it a artificial intelligence hedge fund. And good for them. Next thing to do in terms of the pursuit of happiness after recognizing who you are and your talents is to really and truly get healthy. Getting healthy is a really good idea. How do you do that? You can, one, establish a baseline, meaning how tall am I? How much do I weigh? What are my various measurements? Write them down. Perhaps even consult with a healthcare professional team to find out what your numbers are in terms of fat content, blood pressure, and the like. How much do you weigh? How tall you are? It's always a good thing to track. Then find out what exercise is good for your body. I know it's very popular to walk around the block or run around the block or do jumping jacks. Thank God! Jack LaLanne's older brother nicknamed him Jack, even though his first name, I believe, was Henri. You can look that up. So get out and move about, exercise, eat properly, try and develop some good habits instead of bad habits. So 1, get to know yourself. 2, discover, develop, and deploy your talents. And 3, get healthy. Oh, how about financial independence? I had briefly touched upon spending less money than you make. If you're lucky enough to be a person who has talents which are marketable, in other words, if you know things that actually help you make money, that is a profession, whether it's public speaking, whether it's writing, whether it's teaching exercise, or being an accountant or CPA, or you can help people manage their money, or you can be a professional entertainer, or a portfolio manager, or a fantastic chef that entertains people with some of the most amazing culinary delights, good food. Or you could be a doctor, a lawyer, probably not an Indian chief, but you can certainly be a healthcare professional. And there's a whole new branch developing for healthcare professionals, actually helping people get healthy through vitamins, proper nutrition, proper exercise. Some recommend the Wim Hof method, where you breathe deeply for 30, 40 breaths, then blow out your breath, hold your breath for a period of time, then breathe in again, hold your breath for 15 seconds or so, and then do it all over again. It helps produce wind, also gets rid of some inflammation potential, I'm told. Another popular thing to do is to jump in cold water and take a cold water. Now, personally, I've only done that one time, but every day that I take a shower, I, at the end of the shower, finish off with somewhere between 45 seconds and a couple of minutes of going, I don't really enjoy this, but I'm told it's good for me. Therefore, I'm going to get used to the discomfort associated with cold water blowing all over me. Also, in my case, I go to a place called OsteoStrong to push and pull massive amounts of force to build bone density and some strength. Still working on the bone density, although strength is continuing to develop, which is great fun, a great treat. When you were born in 1948, I'm about to turn 75, getting a little stronger is a hoot and a holler for sure. So to repeat for about the 6th time, 1, get to know who you are, what brings you joy, what does not. 2, discover, develop, and deploy your talents. And 3, see if you can't get healthy and stay that way as long as humanly possible. 4, how about some good personal financial habits? Spend less money than you make and invest for growth and income. Oh yeah, and everybody's favorite, get some love in your life. Learn how to have good relationships. This morning, my darling wife said, oh, I'd like you to boil me 2 eggs. That's what I'd like to have before I go sing with the band. And I thought, sweetie, we are out of eggs. I said, oh. And I know we had discussed this the day before, and I'm also somewhat familiar with the fact that husbands and wives have trouble hearing what the other person has actually said to them. So what did I do? In the dark this morning, I got my old Jaguar sedan, went to Walmart because it was open, and I bought a dozen farm cage-free eggs. In my case, some Greek yogurt with no flavoring, and again in my case some cashew milk, because I like cashew milk. And for Susie, something called Miralax. I'm not sure what that does. But again and again and again, have good relationships within your life, have love in your life, have fellowship in your life. Get to know people, serve people, be there for them, and reach out on a regular basis. This is John Checky wishing you a happy, healthy Thursday. Bye.